Every skill we master, from speaking English to playing an instrument, is built on habits. But few learners realize how psychology shapes their progress. The human brain thrives on repetition, reward, and association. When you repeat a behavior consistently, neurons in your brain form stronger connections. Over time, the action becomes automatic. This is how habits are born. In language learning, the same rule applies. If you read or listen to English at the same time each day, your brain begins to expect and even crave that activity. It becomes less about willpower and more about rhythm. Psychologists call this process habit loop, which includes 3 stages: cue, routine, and reward. The cue triggers the behavior, the routine is the action itself, and the reward reinforces it. For example, the sound of your morning alarm might be the cue, listening to an English podcast your routine, and the feeling of progress your reward. The challenge for many learners is that they rely on motivation, which is temporary. Motivation rises and falls depending on mood, energy, or circumstance. But habits, once formed, operate automatically. By designing an environment that supports small, consistent actions, anyone can build lasting habits that make English practice feel natural instead of forced. Creating a powerful learning habit begins with clarity and simplicity. The brain resists complexity, so the smaller and more specific your goals, the more likely they are to succeed. Instead of saying, "I'll study English every evening," try, "I'll read one short article at 8 p.m. after dinner." This single, predictable action trains your brain to associate time and place with learning. Consistency is more important than intensity. 10 minutes every day will teach you more in the long run than one exhausting session once a week. The key lies in making English a natural part of your environment. Label objects in your house in English, keep a language notebook on your desk, or set your phone interface to English. These small cues keep your brain engaged subconsciously even when you're not studying actively. Another important factor is emotion. Positive emotion strengthens memory and makes the brain more open to learning. Celebrate small wins, finishing a paragraph, understanding a new phrase, or having a short conversation. This emotional reward releases dopamine, a neurotransmitter that motivates you to repeat the behavior. Over time, your brain begins to link English learning with satisfaction rather than stress. That emotional connection is what transforms study into habit and habit into progress. The psychology of learning is not just about forming habits. It's about reshaping identity. When people see themselves as learners, they rely on effort. But when they start to think, "I am an English speaker," the behavior becomes part of who they are. This shift in self-image is powerful. Identity-driven habits last longer because they are aligned with how we see ourselves. Every small action, reading a sentence, writing a note, listening to a story, becomes evidence of that identity. However, maintaining habits also means managing failure. Everyone breaks routines. The key is not perfection but recovery. Missing one day doesn't destroy a habit. Giving up does. The best learners forgive small mistakes quickly and return to action. They understand that progress is not linear. It's a steady rhythm of effort, rest, and renewal. Ultimately, the psychology of learning habits teaches one truth. Mastery is not about talent, but consistency. It's the science of showing up again and again until your brain rewires itself for success. When English becomes part of your lifestyle, something you do naturally, joyfully, and regularly, fluency follows effortlessly. Habits make learning sustainable because they turn practice into identity and identity into confidence. In the end, the best learners don't chase motivation. They build systems that make success inevitable.